No, I So after we had met with our champs training team, we didn't really designate who was going to take over what. And with me having gone to the champs training for coaches with my principal, I decided to take over the first set of trainings that we had agreed on doing. So when I did this, I went and we decided to do the beginning and ending routines, because now this is the second week of school, and those are the most important ways to start and end your days. And the homework was to have them read 77 through 88 on their champs book. And then we wanted them to fill out their reproducible, which basically are these questions and how they're going to do that. So we started with having them do a turn and talk at their table about their reading. And I wanted them to mention one aha moment and mention one thing you do well or that you are going to start doing. Because now they've had a chance to get their feet wet. They know what it's like to enter and leave the classroom. And I wanted to make sure that they maybe got some ideas or got to talk to a more experienced teacher. Then I put norms, because I had started with school culture with Dr. Barbosa, and a lot of the books he had signed that says we have to have norms. So I know at the beginning of the year in staff development it always feels a little hokey, but we need to have a growth mindset, participate, come ready with your ideas, even new teachers. Then after giving them a moment to turn and talk to their team or the people they're most comfortable with, I wanted them to get up and share with someone outside their grade level, someone that they're not so comfortable, because as we get further along in this program, it is so important for us to have collaboration and a school culture of trust. So I wanted to do this with open and low risk environment where it wasn't really about their data. It was just getting to know people, and especially our new staff getting to know us. Then we came back together and I wanted to share final reflections, and it was really cool to see these reflections because people were able to come together and come up with new ideas maybe even I haven't really thought of. Then we assigned homework, which was the common transition time, and we told them that we really want them to focus on this because previous year's data really does show that transition time in the classroom is where most of our office referrals are coming from. And then we thanked them, we got to leave. So then that led us to the next week, which was September 9th. And it was to read Chapter 2, Task 6, which again went to 101. So they were to read it and come to maybe some aha moments. So I had them bring their book. They turned to page 21 because right here
I need Anthony, Issagiri, Adriel,
and are a lot of common transitions that teachers don't always necessarily think about, especially new teachers, about how intense you have to get into anything, even like getting out paper and pencils. Ugh. This one, I taught kindergarten for a while, and it was the craziest trying to get them to learn how to do that. So I had them again share with the people around them, get comfortable. We went over the norms. Then I had them write out their birthday on a sticky note, and I had them get in groups based on their birth month. And then I had them continue to share with their group about what's one transition they really want to figure out that they're struggling with. And that way they could really talk about it, maybe some ideas, and that way you can get outside ideas as well. And then we came back together and shared something, and it was really neat because one of them was we have lunch cards, and lunch cards are always the worst. You hand them out, the kids play with them, put them in their mouth, they lose the little paper inside to get their lunch. So we were able to learn that you could put them all in the baggie and hand them off to the lunch lady, and the kids don't have to deal with the lunch cards, and it's lovely. So it's just like big moments like that were just so awesome to share. So then for the next time, we wanted to go to, we agreed as champs that we were going to do task number 7, which is item 6 from 101 to 114. And do establish and maintain family contact, because after this meeting was pretty soon our parent conferences that happened in October, and we wanted to make sure that teachers, especially new teachers or new to the grade level, had a plan going in how to do parent conferences, because those can be the scariest part about teaching sometimes, is the parent contact. So I just put in some different ways that initial contact, how to maintain regular, and this was part of their reproducible, describe the contract plan, procedures for making initial contact, and procedures for maintaining contact. I had them share with their group that they were comfortable with and ask questions, and a lot of ideas were going around. We went through the norms. Then I cut out stickers, and I made sure that there was always a partner. And I made them find their sticker partner, rock, paper, scissors, winner talks first, and had them talk about it again. We came back together, and I asked everyone to give me an initial way they initially contact or they maintain. And then the next time we did we were going to do our champs versus daily reality scale. And my principal actually requested that teachers turn this in so that we could have actual data from teachers. So we chose to do the champs versus daily reality scale following the last training, just because it says to do this during the 4th or 5th week of school. I think at this time we were coming up on the 6th week of school. And we wanted them to read about it and how to do it, because we wanted them to see if their champs posters and their expectations were actually working in their classroom. And our cast wanted to put this into our poster, is this: we teach our expectations before the activity, then we monitor and provide feedback during after. And so the champs versus daily reality scale really shows you if, when you're teaching and you monitor, you can record your data. I wanted teachers to feel comfortable, so I gave them my actual data. I highlighted all my 3 areas, which 3s are less than 80% of my students, and then I highlighted all my 2s, and I looked for patterns to emerge, and I tried to put, because I have different sections, so I tried to label what they were so I could remember, because sometimes these can be used, the daily versus champs can be used just for one activity for a week, or it can be used as a daily. And so I wanted them to see that I am using this, and this is what my classroom looks like, and it's my 3C classroom that struggles the most. And I wanted them to take a moment to look and analyze their own data and maybe highlight like I did to see if anything emerges. Is it more during your whole group time? Is it your independent time? Is it transitions? Where are you having the most issues according to you? Then we split into groups. And I had them sit with either whole group, independent work, transition, and interventionist non-classroom teachers. Because, of course, you know, if you're an interventionist or a non-classroom teacher, you probably won't have whole group or independent work. But I wanted to make sure that their time was useful too, because they still should be doing CHAMPS. It just won't look the same as a classroom teacher. I wanted them to go to page 126, and if they're all struggling, I wanted them to try to problem solve together, because this is 126, and I provided it for them. I wanted them to readjust their CHAMPS expectations to make those better. And then we did reproducible 3.2, which is basically this, but except for it doesn't have the words in it. It leaves it blank for you to fill it out. And it was very interesting to see because the majority of teachers sat in the whole group setting. So then I gave them time to talk and refill out. Then we came back together, and I wanted, again, I was in Dr. Barbosa's school culture class and reading books that says teachers need to practice before they go into the classroom. So I gave them 2 to 3 minutes to practice how to introduce this to kids and to show them what you want. And then I wanted the partners to give feedback and switch and repeat. And then I wanted 2 people to share out. And then this is where we ended our CHAMPS practice. So the only thing was we wanted them to continue to monitor and adjust and practice. So after that, the CHAMPS committee met again. Well, what actually happened next is I went to San Jacinto with my principal, and we calibrated our daily 5, which is the 5 classroom observations of classroom management. And we went into many different teachers' classrooms and calibrated the 3-to-1 positive interaction ratio, the opportunities to respond, disruptions in the class, student engagement. And so when we met afterwards, we met with the CHAMPS trainer, and she showed us the data that we collected, and we got to talk, me and my principal, and she was telling me how the office referral data at this time of the year is actually not that much better than last year. And that since it's not much better, and she's seeing a trend of it coming from classroom teachers and their transitions in the classroom. So when we met with the CHAMPS committee for the second time, I already had the CHAMPS trainer talked about the ratio of interactions being one of the most important thing that can change a school culture. So I really wanted to take time to focus on this with staff and get that increased. And then our cast wanted to go over all the basic 5s. So I printed out all these reproducibles to kind of show this one is the basic 5 that can be recorded. Then this is the ratio of interactions form, and this is the actual teacher trainer. So we kind of went over, and we went over what we should do if we agreed. And this time I actually did give out assignments. Haley Falk, it was just a joke. She wasn't at this meeting but still wanted to be a part of it. So we put her on all of it, even though she was only really going to do this last one. However, these were all the people in attendance. And so the first one I was going to do again. And we were going to go over data and about office referrals. And so we kind of just made an agenda, and we talked about who was going to do what and what the homework was going to be and where it was going to be. I kind of had this filled out before our meeting. That way we would have a direction to go. And that led us to this, which our vice principal went over the data and let them know and showed them graphs of where it all was. So then we talked about transitions. And we went back to that page 91. And really went over, pick a time that you've written an office referral. Fill out it, and I had the transition sheet and fill out what do you need to teach them. Then I had them share with their table and provide feedback. Share one transition, one structure, and so we all shared. Then I went into the opportunities to respond and what it means. I was going to give an example, but then, of course, technology doesn't work, and the stupid projector stopped working. And so I did a quick one in front of them, and then we gave homework that you're going to read. And you're going to watch someone do the opportunities to respond. And that led us to where we kind of are and what my contribution was. Our next step is to meet again in January, and hopefully we can get some coaching going on. I am going to go ahead and get started while we wait on Ms. Smith, because I don't like waiting. I'm Jessica Apple, and I know I forget to introduce myself every time. I teach 3rd grade math right here around this corner. So if you ever need anything, that's where my house is. I'm also want to let you guys know I'm getting my master's, so I have to take some videos. And I was like, oh, it's perfect doing this. So as long as you don't come on stage, you won't be in it. So if you haven't already, will you please grab a sticky note? The part we were supposed to read was managing common transitions. And it was chapter 2, task 6, and on your reproducible, it was item number 5 that you were supposed to do. See, I got more organized. So, if you open your book to page 91, ooh, that's really hard to see, I apologize. If you open it to 91, at that bottom part, there's a list of common transitions in your classroom. Now, around the school, it seems like we've done a really good job of getting our transitions going. So, I want you to look at those, and I want you to pick one area you want to improve and one area you have figured out. And I'll tell you, mine one that I still can't figure out is my ending routines, like getting the backpack. There's so many moving parts during that time, and it drives me crazy. And it's the one where I have to be in their little classroom all the time. And every year it's been a struggle. And this is year 10. So if anyone has great ideas, I would love them. So look through that little list at the bottom. What is one area you really excel at? What is one that you need, that you're still figuring out? And if you're not a classroom teacher, is there a group when picking them up is hard? Or when dropping them off is a struggle? Okay, and now share with your table what you decided, and your one thing that you do well. What makes it so great in your classroom that you figured out? Go. What you got? Yes.
Getting a book and opening to a particular page. 90 pages. I don't know how much was moving to and from small group location.
Okay.
Getting the book.
We'll see about RTI. Do you
you have a way with the class that you're gonna do? Was there a way y'all figured out that worked easy? Because we didn't have to do that last year with you. I can see all of them, so it'll be all three next. And then I put in a my requirement is that have their name and who they were going to. And I was this person's going here and then I would be finalizing over Tuesday, which it'll be the same for every grade. And then when there's new groups, I'll make a new spreadsheet. And I just put closing down my room. Actually, the day went really well, and I was like, okay, I'm cool. Really give everyone one. I mean, we have some. I already said what you were. I don't know what question it is. I love before the bell rings. Me too. Putting things away, they move in your house. Yeah.
Attention, please. Okay, we're going into the part that I know everybody hates because it'll make you get up and talk to other people. So remember, this program really is designed for us to grow as a campus together. We can't do that unless we build relationships with people. And the way to do that is during these professional developments. So participate. Hopefully you came ready with your ideas because they're important. Everyone's ideas here are important. So the way we're going to do it is write your birthday. If you just do the month, if you write your birth month, you're going to find someone with the same birth month as you that is not in your team. And you're going to share an idea that really resonated with you or something you struggle with still. And if you need a sticky note, they're still over there by the sign-in sheet. So when you're ready, if you'll hold up your sticky note, that way I know I've given you enough time. Okay. I'll give us about 3 to 5 minutes. Ready, go. Attention, please. If you are finished with your conversations, will you give me a thumb, or if you need more time, will you give me a sideways thumb? Perfect. If you'll thank your group and your team for sharing their ideas and go back to your spot, please.
Give it a try. Yeah, 6 weeks getting trained, and you're like, well.
And like last time, if we can have 2 people share something that they do well, or something that you heard that was helpful that maybe you're gonna take back.
Something that I do now is instead of everyone getting up from the carpet and heading to their desk, I do by their table group instead, one at a time. And that's helped a lot with everybody.
It makes a big difference when we can have them in control of something in those little moments. Saves times on instruction. One more.
First grade.
Oh, first grade.
No, I didn't get to talk to my group about it, but, one of the things that we were talking about is we have bigger chairs in our room this year, and our seat sacks are on top of them, and they're heavy, so they're really heavy, but, so in the mornings when they take the chairs down, the seat sacks fall off, so that's a disaster. At the end of the day, putting them up on the table is a disaster. But April's like, just take the seat sacks off and make that a routine, and then the chairs up, and it's that easier, which, I hadn't thought about it, I just usually take the chairs down myself and help whoever needs help, and there's no reason for that.
I know, it's crazy that we always try to come up with these huge solutions or just deal with it when it's something so simple sometimes, So for next time, we'll meet September 16th, which is next week, and it's page 101 to 114, and it's gonna be item 6 on the reproducible. I'll send this out again in an email, that way it's super clear. And I can't remember if next time or the time after is our last time before we have a little bit of a break from these champs meetings. So, thank you for entertaining me and being a part of my video. No, you don't have to talk about it. I feel very awkward. But, and that's all from the Champs Committee, and Jenny, I know, had a few things to go over as well.